Hello, here we are again. Can you believe it? Welcome back to Digital Food Week TV. This is the last episode of Digital Food Week TV. What a week we've had, but we will go out with a bang tonight and continue to talk non-stop about our amazing industry here in Leeds, celebrating all the food and all the drink that it has. Obviously, it's been an incredibly tough year. And this show in Digital Food Week is all about celebrating and championing the amazing people that we have in this industry. My name is Johnny Ianson. This is a Chapter 81 production. Thank you very much to our friends at LeedsBId, the people behind Welcome to Leeds, for supporting this as well. Obviously, it's not just me here as ever, but for the last time, sadly, it's Larry Budd over in Booze Corner.
I'm furious. And in fact, I'm going to continue doing Booze Corner, even if nobody's filming over the course of the next week. So tonight, we've got my final visit on Bud's brewery tours. I'm looking forward to that. If that's not enough beer for you, you know, last night we learned how to taste wine. I'm basically a sommelier now, if you didn't catch that. Tonight, we're going to learn how to properly taste beer, all of us. And to top it all off, to finish the week, we've got one of Leeds' stalwarts of coffee, just to rescue the rest of the weekend more than anything.
So much to come for you here on Digital Food Week TV. Cannot wait to bring you more over the course of the next hour, which includes right here on the sofa with me. Our first guest of the evening will be joining us in just a moment's time. That's Rob Hallas. The aforementioned Dave Laynes will be here with Coffee Chat. Mike Hampshire is here to talk beer with Larry later on in the programme. Spud Bros feature tonight, as do Nomadic Brewing. We've got some twisted Indian street food for you from Rola Wala. Harry's out and about as ever in Meanwood tonight. Also, the second part of my conversation with Andrew Cooper from LeedsBId, and it's Ntantu later on with some incredible Afro pop to play us out. What a way to conclude the show and the week. So let's introduce you now then to the first guest of the evening. You may have seen him out and about and probably tasted his food as well. On the Leeds restaurant circuit. We might have seen you at Matt Healy's restaurant. There's a good chance people have maybe been as well to your pop-ups, and they've certainly had their fingers on your Scotch eggs. Rob Hallas, welcome.
Indeed. Hey, mate, how are you doing?
I'm going to introduce your company as well by saying a rude word. Sorry, Mum, firstly. Kind of. It's Bar Steward's Bistro.
We can go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that for today because there may be kids watching. Tell us about lockdown, because, I mean, I'm not just going to talk non-stop about eggs to you, Rob. Yeah. But they have been a phenomenon over the past few months. Yeah, it's gone pretty well. It started off as a bit of a joke, to be honest, with old Boris saying that you're allowed a Scotch egg as a substantial meal. And it's just snowballed. We've ended up getting it in about 8 different cafes across Yorkshire. And I think the last count we did, we've sold around 5,000 since January. That's a lot of eggs. Yeah, exciting stuff. Nice. I expect that for a lot more than I tonight. Excellent. So, I mean, what are you doing to the eggs? Or what did you do to the eggs to make? I wish I knew. I don't know. We've just been coming up with some different flavours and just trying to put fast food into a Scotch egg, if you will. Or we did one where it was a trio of 3, which was like a fish and chip theme. So just doing something exciting, really, and something what people are going to buy into, I guess, and they definitely did with the old eggs. So yeah, I mean, you haven't just been doing eggs; you've been doing your pop-ups whenever you possibly can as well. Yeah, and I'm guessing as someone that works in the business, being there face to face with people is something you really want. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think I can speak for a lot of people. We're just a bit sick of putting things in boxes. You know, it served a purpose for the last God knows how many months it is now. But yeah, it's about time we just get stuck back in and get used to what we love doing, which is face to face. Food or drink, whichever forte you're into, I guess. Yeah, you've got so much coming up over the next week, especially when people can start eating and drinking in restaurants, and we'll talk about that throughout the course of the show. But have you been warmed by the support that you've been given just from customers and people wanting to buy your stuff? Yeah, massively. I mean, Leeds is great for that anyway, but I think it's come a step further over lockdown. A lot of collabs have been happening, which wouldn't necessarily have gone on before lockdown, and the support's phenomenal. I can't thank people enough for it. So, one of the other things that I've really noticed over the course of this week is how supportive the industry is to itself. We spoke about this quite a bit, but sometimes you might think there would be more competition than collaboration, but it seems that it is a really healthy place to be, helping one another. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, of course, there's always going to be healthy competition, no matter what you do. But I mean, like I said, Leeds is just, everyone just gels together, and especially when something like this is going on. So you can't knock it. Yeah, are you feeling excited about things opening up properly next week?
I'm quite daunted by it, if I'm honest. We've got a mad week next week, but we've been gearing up for it for God knows how long now. So yeah, let's just do it. Let's get on with it again.
Loads to talk to you about, so stay with us for the course of the next hour. Booze on the way as well, with Larry as well. But obviously we can't talk about food without seeing people make it. That's why all week we've been cooking with Beth. Beth Parsons has been out and about at some of Leeds' best food spots and finding out how they make their signature dishes. And tonight, for the final time, it's Indian food.
Welcome to Rollerwalla. Today I've been joined by Chef Oisin. Hello, Oisin.
Hello.
You are going to demonstrate what I think is the naan wrap one of your most popular ones?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Okay. You're going to make one. I'm going to make one. I'm going to follow what you're doing, and then you're going to teach me how to roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do the first thing, and I'll copy you?
Yeah, so first we start toasting the naans.
Okay.
Give them a little toast on both sides. And then today we'll be doing the vegan Rogan Josh meatball.
Lovely. Okay.
So
Nice.
So first things first, we get people to choose their fillings, and then we also ask them if they'd like some paneer cheese.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Always.
would you like the paneer
Yes,
cheese?
definitely.
So,
You don't have to have paneer cheese, but I definitely would say yes to that. Is this sort of a lunchy snack? Do you think? Well, it's not a snack; it's definitely a meal. But is it? Do you get a lot of lunchtime trade coming up here?
yeah, it's mainly a lot of lunchtime, people that work in the offices around here, and then people that want to stop off for a quick bite to eat in between their shopping.
Good. I've gone for 7, but don't tell anyone.
No, I won't.
Okay, next stage.
So then we just put the 4 meatballs.
Are you finding there's a lot more people that are sort of opting for the fake meat, as it were? Is that more popular? Is that why you've brought something like this in?
Yeah, I think definitely over time the meat alternatives have gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
And I think that with all the spices and everything we're throwing in it, it's definitely getting closer to an actual meat alternative.
Yeah, you can't tell. Some of the time you can't. Right, 4 of these, 4 bowls, not 5, Beth. Where is Rollerwalla from? Where are the sort of flavours and the traditions from?
So I guess it'd be sort of a British take on Indian classics. So you've got, the sort of meatballs on exactly traditionally Indian. But, we've had it with the Rogan Josh sauce, and then the saag and stuff would normally be with ordinary potato, but we have a sweet potato. So it's sort of like a little bit of a take on Indian classics, each and every one.
Nice. Okay. Onwards. This is the most colourful section, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got the pickled red onion, which has got pickled with ginger and some spices, bay leaves. Then we've got the carrot, which has got cumin and nigella seeds, and then we've got the coriander as well.
Okay. And is it a bit of all 3?
Bit of all 3,
okay.
Yeah, that's why I go
Off you go. It makes it so vibrant, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's
also
really
it makes
good.
it like freshens it up a bit as well.
Thank you. So obviously at the minute then you've been doing lunch services and people have been coming to have takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
Would normally we be surrounded by people who are eating and sitting in?
Yeah, well, we, as I said, because we get a lot of lunch trade, we get a nice mix of people that are sort of just stopping by and then people that are sort of sitting in to eat. Then we usually get a lot of evening sales towards Christmas time and stuff like that. So people like to sit,
a bit of late night
in.
Christmas shopping.
Yeah, that's when the more family orientated.
Right, sauce time. How saucy are you? Which one are you going to go for?
Usually you have the reignite as a base, so that's some natural yogurt, and then we've got a mild mango, a medium mint, or a hot chutney. So with the meatballs, I'd pretty recommend either the mint or the hot, and then with the yogurt as a base as well.
So you go maybe all 3.
Well, either or. But if you want a bit of
you look shocked by the idea of all 3, then
you can have all 3 if that's your
that's your jam. Okay, so go for yogurt. You're going to go yogurt.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got the thing right, haven't you?
The angles.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And I'm going to go for the mint, I think.
Okay. Well, I'll go hot then, and then we've got 2 different. Thank you very much. Yep. How hot is it? Like that? Okay.
Yeah.
A bit more there.
It's fairly hot, but it's not super blow your head off.
It's not going to blow my head off, right?
No,
fine.
You're right.
Okay.
At the end, we usually finish with lemon and crunch. So crunch is just a fried chickpea flour. It's called sev.
Is it like the same stuff as Bombay mix?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But with no seasoning in it, so it just adds a bit of crunch.
So do you squeeze your lemon? You don't just shove the whole bit of lemon in there?
Oh yeah, just a little squeeze.
Feel it's going to go in my eye.
It does sometimes in the middle of service.
Yeah. What do you do? Just carry on, stay calm and carry on.
Yeah, you sort of like have to have one eye just sealed shut when
Yeah.
you're still talking to the customer.
They just think you're really hitting on them like that.
So bunch it up in the middle
Bunch it up in the middle.
and then fold it over.
Then
Like
fold it over. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll move that so you can see. Tuck.
Tuck, tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just
Getting a bit juicy, but
and
that's
then just-
okay.
in one thing, move it forwards.
One thing forward.
And then if I'll adjust that round.
Thank you.
And then if you pull it down to the bottom
Yeah.
and then pull the foil up over the top.
Ah.
When you get about halfway, if you want to fold the sides in,
Yeah.
and then I usually pinch it a little bit on the sides there. And
This
then
is
you
like
just-
wrapping presents, like at Christmas. Yeah.
Got it. And then you finish it off with a sticker.
Okay. Feels like being good at the dentist, doesn't it, with that?
There you are.
All
Is it
right.
Rollerwalla?
Thank you. Thank you very much. So then you can just pop this in your handbag.
Exactly.
Off you go. Wonderful.
So we're open every day of the week. We are in Trinity Kitchen down the centre of Leeds.
Mhm.
And
Right on the top.
right on the top. So when you walk in up the escalator.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for having us and thank you for showing me how to roll.
No worries.
Cheers.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Oh, thank you, Beth. Thank you. It was some amazing places this week. I'm not sure who I'm more jealous of, Larry or Beth, this week. Because
Definitely me, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, it is.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, it definitely is. Rollerwalla there and O'Sheen looking after Beth there. Thank you very much, guys. It made me realise this week, Rob, as well, just meeting some of these people that were only just scratching the surface. There are so many people doing amazing things in this city.
Oh, you're definitely spoilt for choice in Leeds.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Every single cuisine you can think of and more, I think.
It also feels like it's spreading out beyond Leeds as well. Leeds it's got a reputation. It certainly did when I came 20 odd years ago. Great for drinking and a night out.
Yeah.
Great for shopping, Harvey Nicks or whatever. But now as a foodie city, it really seems that people outside of Leeds are talking about it.
Well, that's great to hear. Yeah. I mean, even the suburbs of Leeds is really up and coming as well. Places like Crossgates and even Garforth's getting on board as well with some wicked restaurants and new concepts. So yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, we've had Harry out and about all week actually at various places. And for you working in the industry, you were just talking about O'Sheen then, and you were talking about Rollerwalla because you used to work there. It seems like everybody has a connection to
One
another.
of many jobs. Like I said before, everybody knows everybody in Leeds. If you don't know them, you're going to get to know them over a drink or a bite to eat. So yeah, it's a wicked city to work in. I can't say anything negative about it, to be honest. But
yeah.
Let's
Talk a little bit about what's coming next for you then. So big week next week.
Big old week next week.
Talk us through it.
So Monday we are helping Brunswick launch their indoors again, if you will. We're doing kebabs there. Maradona's Kebab House.
Maradona, great. Kebabs seem like very much the food of the moment.
Yeah. It depends where you buy them from.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've always been around. Obviously, I think they seem
It's
to be
definitely making a bit of a comeback. Yeah, and I think it's not just looked at as something you have when you're absolutely levered and you're getting from a night out. It's there's a lot more to it than that. What people don't really know about, I guess.
Yeah. What else then? So you're the hedonist.
So we go from cooking kebabs to cooking with champagne on Thursday. We're doing an event at the Domino Club with Moe.
Yeah.
We've got some wicked jazz music playing as well. And then Friday we are at the Hedonist. We've just moved in there, fortunately, after a crazy 6 months. We've finally got a permanent home. So yeah, three new launches in a week. I think I'm going to need a day off. Like,
You don't get a day off. You're working in hospitality. That doesn't happen. And what kind of stuff are you doing at the Hedonist?
TBC. I'm not going to give too much away on that one, as I've not even put it out on any socials myself yet. So
is it Scotch eggs?
Yeah, it's just Scotch eggs. Just Scotch eggs and kebabs.
Scotch eggs and kebabs. You heard it here first. Right, let's talk beer now. We'll be back with Rob throughout the show. First instalment tonight, Larry. What have you got for us?
Yeah, marvellous. Well, all week I have been bullied into visiting breweries across this great city, of which there are now more breweries than there are people in Leeds. I don't know if you knew that as a fact. And to finish up the week, I've been to one of the smallest, but one of the nicest in my opinion, and that's to Nomadic Brewing. We're in Sheepscar, which is about a 5-minute walk from Leeds city centre, and we're here to see Nomadic Beers behind this door. Come on. Katie, hi.
Hi, Larry.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Oh,
Welcome
welcome.
to Nomadic Beers.
It's a pleasure to be here. Nomadic Beers, how long have you been here then in Sheepscar?
We've been in here now, it'll be 3 years in August. So what's that, 2 and a big bit?
2 and a big bit.
2 and a big
Most
bit.
of that taken up by a great big pandemic.
Yeah, that's been fun.
You doing okay? You getting through it?
We're getting through it, yeah. We've made it through it, which is the important thing. We're out the other side now. Let's just keep going, selling beer. So this is the brew kit. We've got the hot liquor tank, the mash tun and the copper. So this is actually how we brew the beer, and that process there takes about a day.
Yeah.
So the hot water and the mash go in the mash tun. Then that gets transferred to the copper where we put in the hops. It gets boiled up for about an hour, and then we move on to the fermenters.
How much beer do you brew?
So in brewers speak, we brew 13 heck or 8 barrels,
13
which
heck, yeah.
equates to just over 2,000 pints in one of these. I'm not good at maths and I always forget the numbers. But yeah, a lot of pints.
Yeah, okay. And is that, how do you sort of compare to other breweries? Are you a microbrewery? Are you sort of mid-level or?
I'd say we're on the larger side of a microbrewery at the moment. We're definitely not as big as some of the breweries in Leeds, but we're definitely slightly bigger than others. So probably, yeah, mid-range.
So you're a working brewery. So
Yeah.
obviously your tanks are here. You've got all the casks and the kegs. Tell me the difference.
A cask is what you hook up to a hand pull that we've got on our bar, whereas a keg is like a lager flick handle. Lagers, the kegs are generally dispensed at a lower temperature and are a bit fizzier than a cask beer.
If you're remembering all this, there'll be a quiz later on in the week. Okay, so you're a working brewery, but people can come here out of pandemic times, and people can come here and have a drink on is it a Saturday afternoon?
Friday and Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon. So we're opening up at the end of this month. Now the government said that we're allowed, which is very exciting. So we're open about 12 till about 9 on a Friday and the same on a Saturday. So all of the stuff that you see disappears, tables come out, and then suddenly we have a bar in the brewery as well.
That's going to feel good, right, to get
Yeah,
reopened?
I can't wait. It'd be great to have our customers back down as well. Yeah, just 3 weeks to go.
So where did you start then? So and where does Nomadic, the name, come from?
Nomadic was named Nomadic. Me and head brewer Ross both moved around quite a lot before settling in Leeds, and it's a nod to our wandering beard styles. So we have 3 beers in our core range, which means we have them all the time, and then we brew probably out of pandemic times 2 to 4 different specials a month. So we try and do different more traditional styles, lots of different beers. We were established in 2016 in December, and then we started selling beer the following February. So a bit like the Queen and got 2 birthdays.
Yeah, nice. And at the risk of a cliche, like there's something in the water, what is it about Leeds that's lent itself to brewing? Because of course it's got such a massive brewing history when you want to talk about Tetley and that kind of thing. But in recent years, there's just been an explosion of breweries, hasn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, even just this small area, there's 4 that you could walk to in this tiny area, you know.
So just so happens that my partner is actually running beer tours about the history of beer in Leeds. So I know a bit about this because I've heard it a few times.
He tells you everything. Yeah.
So the reason that there are so many breweries in Leeds at the moment is actually because of the downfall of Tetley's. So when Tetley moved out of the area, there was suddenly this huge area that didn't have any production of beer, and it just enabled a lot of little companies to up and come in and brew.
Must be great though. It must feel good as a community to have so many other breweries around. You all support each other, and
yeah, I'm in a WhatsApp with about 5-6 different breweries that was set up at the beginning of the pandemic, which has been really helpful. We're all about the same size, helping with equipment that we might not have, ingredients if orders haven't turned up on time, and just generally goodwill.
well, it's been great to meet you. We're recording this in the morning, so I'm afraid it's too early to have a beer. But can we come back another time?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, Fridays and Saturdays, come on down.
Thank you, Katie. Great to meet you.
Thanks, Larry.
Too early to have a beer, who am I kidding? Thank you to Katie at Nomadic and to all the breweries that have welcomed us along this week as part of Digital Food Week TV. If you do need me to come to your brewery and talk to you about beer and then drink some, I'm available at any time.
You're so generous, Larry. That's so good of you.
Anytime.
It's amazing the amount of breweries and beer in Leeds right now. And I'm guessing, Rob, like the food scene is really supportive. The breweries and beer kind of go hand in hand. Like one is good for the other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we cook with booze all the time, so we're
just drinking it as you cook.
Yeah, we save a little bit for the cooking, of course, but no, yeah, it seems to be a brewery on every corner at the minute. It's great to see.
Yeah, and you, I'm not suggesting you talk about any secrets you've got coming up, but there's obviously a lot of collaboration between the foodies and the drink side of things as well. Have you fancied a bit of that?
Yeah. Hopefully, somewhere down the line, we're going to work with breweries, and I'd love to have my own beer. Like, it's one of my dreams. Obviously, I think most people could say that if they're into boozing. But yeah, I mean, we have collabed with some spirit brands before. I think hopefully we've got something coming up with Jack Daniels as well, which should be pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And how are you feeling about moving into somewhere permanent? You'll be in Hedonist from next Friday.
Next Friday. Well, yeah.
So you're used to, speaking of nomadic, you're used to, I guess, a bit of a nomadic existence, being a pop-up and working around different places. Are you excited at the prospect of having somewhere permanent?
It's been my dream to have somewhere permanent. I'm just absolutely over the moon that I've got the opportunity, especially to work with them guys as well. They're good friends of mine. Actually, it was the last place I worked as a bartender, so it's kind of gone full circle. Now I'm downstairs cooking, so yeah, can't wait. Yeah,
great. We'll hear some more about what you're getting up to later on the programme, but of course we have to talk about street food. It's a massive part of Leeds' industry, and Rob can speak firsthand about that. In fact, I saw you at a street food event, Chowdown, not so long ago. It's a rich and varied scene, and there is so much going on there. And each day this week, we've been taking a look at the different street food vendors. And tonight is our last one, and it's the best thing to come out of Canada, apart from Bryan Adams.
My name is Norman Dungo, and I run Spuds and Bros Poutine. So Spuds and Bros started a couple of years ago in 2019. I went to Canada for a couple of years back in 2016. And I thought, you know what? I could bring this back to Leeds because there's something missing in Leeds. I wasn't sure what it was quite, but I thought, you know what? Poutine is the place to be. Homemade gravy, authentic squeaky cheese curds, and freshly cut fries. What more could you want? Our first ever location was the Central Square near where we live, just like 2 office workers. 2 hours. There was like 6 of us in the trailer, which was too much because we didn't know what to expect. But as time progressed, we went to the Leeds Food and Drink Festival at Millennium Square, which was one of our all-right events. It was good. Met so many new vendors, and then someone told us about Chowdown, and we're like, you know what, let's get in contact with the people that do Chowdown. And then we got in contact with Simon, put us for spoke for next year, which is 2020, which unfortunately was taken away by COVID. But before that, we did a music festival in Coventry called Coom Weekend, where there was the Libertines playing. We weren't prepared. When there was a small little fryer, and there was queues going for as long as I can see, but it was a really good festival and a learning curve. So since then, we've sort of like adapted our trailer to make more food and get a high output and serve more customers instead of the queues and stuff. So it's been an eventful year. Last year, our whole calendar filled up with events across the country, Coventry, Nottingham, but sadly COVID took over, and we've just been at home creating new recipes. That's what we've been doing. So at the moment, my favorite poutine that I've made is the lamb one. It's lamb merguez. It's a Tunisian dish. A little bit spicy, but not too spicy. Some pomegranate seeds, some parsley, and homemade gravy, cheese curds, freshly cut chips. Oh, it's absolutely divine. The thought behind us getting a horsebox was we thought horsebox is quirky and it's quite aesthetically pleasing, and people quite like the look of them. And there's quite a lot of vans around, so I thought, horsebox is the way forward because it's nice, small, and compact, and you can do anything to it. That's why I went for the horsebox. My favorite street food at the moment is the gyros from Eat Like a Greek. They're my friends that are also based in Leeds. They do really, really good Greek food. Eat Like a Greek, amazing gyros. So poutine is basically, it's a Canadian dish, French-Canadian, of freshly cut, twice cooked chips, homemade gravy, and cheese curds. So cheese curds, they might sound like curds, but they're not. It's just like a squeakier cheese, which is like halloumi, but melts a lot and it's really, really sticky and very, very yummy. Cheese curds and gravy, it goes well, very amazing. Don't let anyone tell you it's poutine if it's just mozzarella. It's not poutine. They're lying to you. Come and try us with the real deal.
Oh, I mean, nobody needs convincing to eat cheese, chips, and gravy, right? But after seeing that, I would kill a man for the stuff. It's so good. It's so good. You must. How are you not the size of a house, by the way, Rob? Because you're working next to that stuff every day.
Plenty of running, I think. Plenty of running, yeah.
What's your favourite street food out and about in Leeds at the moment?
Oh, it's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go Little Bow Boy. They're absolutely killing it at the minute.
Yeah.
Good friends of mine as well. So yeah. I was actually working there last week, so a little plug for you.
I was just trying to think then, watching the Poutine guys from Spud Bros, about what is Leeds' signature dish, and I don't think it has one, but in a way that's kind of, I don't know, is it signature dish that there is just so much variety?
Does it need a signature
No, I don't
dish?
think so. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd probably go chips, cheese and gravy. That's like my childhood memory, so yeah.
The city's changed a lot over the course, well, just the past year, really, in the way it looks physically. We were talking a moment ago as well about Leeds. You've been a Leeds fan, me being a Leeds fan, Larry being a Leeds fan. The city feels like it's in a really good place at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's all reflecting on one another.
Yeah, there's a lot of positives at the minute, which is great to see. Roadworks, bit annoying, but you can see the city is just transforming. Hopefully by the end of the summer, it's just everywhere you go is just going to look fantastic. Yeah, I mean, we spent quite a bit of time talking to people on Hedgerow and down on Core Lane, and it just looks and feels different. And when somewhere has that buzz about it, instantly you're drawing more people in to come to places. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm born and bred here, so to see how much it's even changed over the last 3 years is pretty mental. But yeah, the whole skyline's changed, so yeah, it looks great. Do you think that, I mean, we've been hearing from the council about how they're cutting all kinds of red tape and what have you. Hopefully this is a permanent thing. Does it feel like the city is embracing its food culture more physically and from, the likes of the council and the people in charge? Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, you're always going to look at places like London and feel like you're playing catch up, but I definitely feel that Leeds is starting to get its own identity, which is great. Yeah, well, speaking of that, in our big picture slot, if you want to call it that, we've been hearing from people right at the very top of the industry who have been working with the industry just to try and make things a little bit better as we ease out of the pandemic. We've already heard once from LeedsBId, the Business Improvement District, the people who are behind Welcome to Leeds. And this is the second part of my conversation with its Chief Executive, Andrew Cooper, who's been telling me about how they're intending to attract more people into the city. One of the big parts of Welcome to Leeds and the Business Improvement District, their aim is to get people into the city, is to bring tourists into the city. And obviously the food scene, Leeds' food scene has exploded over the past few years. And how important is that food scene in bringing people into Leeds, tourists?
It's incredibly important. We eat out more than we ever have done as a nation. Pre-COVID, we were, eating out more and more. And I think we've seen that in the rise of restaurants in the city centre and the rise of sort of small independents to things like the Trinity Kitchen and the food vendors in there that they swap in and out. And I think that's a really good model of giving people an opportunity to trade. Outdoor pop-up activities, the chow down that's been happening, the independent food weeks that we've had in the city before. It shows the breadth of offer right up to Michelin star chefs and restaurants and so on. So I think there's something for everybody in Leeds, and food's part of our sort of DNA and sort of our cultural DNA as a city in terms of some of the talent that's come through the city as well, and in terms of some of the colleges and universities in terms of their courses that they have there for chefs and for food technologies and so on. That's an important part of our economy, and I think on the continent, people see hospitality as a career. And I think it's similar for retail as well. We have a problem in this country of trying to convey to people that hospitality retail can be a career. And it's not just something you do in between jobs or when you leave university. There are opportunities, and we've got a growing market in Leeds, and there's opportunities for people to get jobs and work in it. And people are enthusiastic about food, and we've seen that, hence the Leeds Digital Food Week, to shine a light on the enthusiasm that there is for the chefs and the food and the quality, and shining a light as well on the fact that as a city we have a good offer.
I'm glad you got in Leeds Digital Food Week and the accompanying TV show, because I would have told off otherwise. And thank you so much for having us down here today.
No problem.
I mean, it sounds like you are optimistic, obviously, about the future and about the role that hospitality will play in ensuring that Leeds continues to grow in spite of coronavirus and in spite of the challenges that every high street is facing.
Yeah, and I think Leeds, every high street is having the challenge. I think Leeds has become more resilient, and I've seen more collaboration, more people working together, people who are working together who probably didn't pre-COVID, which is good for our city. And I think we need to support the hospitality sector the best we can. And that's what the Business Improvement District is all about. We have no agenda other than the success and the improvement of the city. And we need to support the hospitality sector and those sectors that are going to be sort of later to getting back to full operation. So that's why we've done Leeds Digital Food Week. That's why we wanted to do it, to provide another platform, another way of telling the story of Leeds, and to bring people back into the city centre in a safe way.
Great stuff. Thanks for having us today.
That's all right.
Andrew Cooper, CEO of LeedsBId, speaking to Johnny. This is Leeds Digital Food Week TV. My name's Larry Budd, here in Booze Corner, because we couldn't let the week go by without having an extensive beer testing and tasting session. And you're the perfect man to do that. Mike Hampshire, welcome. Hello. From Leeds Beer Tours. Yep. Before we crack these open, which we'll do very soon indeed, just tell us about the tours that you run.
Yep, so I run Leeds Beer Tours. I run a heritage tour through Leeds, which is taking some of the very old venues that we've got and just celebrates and does a walkthrough of 300 years of beer history in the city. Yeah,
so we're including sort of real heritage pubs like the Adelphi and
White Locks, absolutely.
White Locks,
we visit the Tetley Brewery as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, of course, which isn't there any. Well, the Tetley is there. It's the Tetley Gallery, of course, now with its marvellous restaurant and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Such heritage in the city, and we've talked about that throughout the week. How this sort of swell of other craft brewers has come up, sort of out of the gap that Tetley left, if you like.
It's quite an interesting stat actually that we've come out of the pandemic with more breweries than we went in with.
Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
well, it's a good time. Yeah. Good time for a beer. I think most people would agree. Well, we had to stay at home. So you've brought 3 beers for us to test.
Yeah.
We've got 4 glasses for each. Johnny, I planned this very well.
Yeah, good.
This time. I felt like you missed out on the wine yesterday when we didn't have enough glasses for him. He sulked for hours. So what have you got for us tonight then, Mike? Let's start over here.
So the first beer that we've got is from a brewery called Pig Love. They're based out in Cross Green. They started, it was actually just before the pandemic they started out. And this is on their session IPA. Okay. It's actually 2 guys who were based from Venezuela. So it's got a bit of Venezuelan ingredients in there.
Really? That's interesting. Okay. Oh, here we go. So this is a session IPA. So I see this phrase about the place, and I sort of think of a session IPA as a beer that you can drink over the course of a session. You know,
essentially, yeah. I mean,
obvious thing to say.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, I'm of the opinion that every beer is a session beer. It just depends on how long you want the session to be. so a session IPA, this is about 4.5%. Yeah, and it is actually something that you could just carry on drinking for, say, a few hours. Before you feel the effects properly.
Well, we talked about this the other night. How it seems that so many places now, they don't do beers that are 4%. Really, they might have a couple in their range. Yeah. But really, you know, if you go and sit at somewhere like North, you're looking at some of their beers being upwards of 7% or something. Yeah. And you do have to sort of be a bit careful, don't you? Or choose wisely, I think is the phrase.
I think so, yeah. I mean, there's so many different styles and different ABVs out there. And actually, there's something to be said about drinking it more as a connoisseur than actually just going out and having a massive session.
Yes. So tell us what we should be tasting here.
So this is a session pale. So you're expecting... So you're gonna get some citrus and tropical notes when you give that a smell.
Definitely tropical. I'm definitely getting the tropical. We did the wine tasting last night, and I feel like this is
the principles are exactly the same. And actually, that's quite a lot of citrus as well. Tropical. There's quite a bit of bitterness bite at the end, but it's something that you could just really enjoy.
That's one or more really nice. Yeah. The thing that I found, I mean, I know that that's not anywhere near as strong as some of the potential other ones that you have, but particularly stronger beers now, they're so refined anyway, they sneak up on you. Like you were saying, it used to be the days of a 7 or 8% would be Special Brew or Tennent's or Kestrel, and it'd be like battery acid, and it'd make your eyes bleed. But this is, they're so smooth now, they're dangerous in a good way.
But 4.5% being your session one, you know, as we were saying, I think last night, it used to be 5% was your top option. And now you can have something that's 7, 8. We talked about the El Loco that Wild Child make, and it's a real drinkable beer. But it's 9%. And that's just like a bottle
basically wine.
It's basically wine. So we have to be careful. All right, so that's the session IPA. We like that.
That's
don't we?
Really nice. Sorry, what was that one again? That was
Omnia by Pig Love Brewing.
Pig Love.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Okay, so on to beer number 2, and we're heading up to Horsforth.
Yep. So this is Horsforth Brewery's Weisse Rose, White Rose. It's called that because it's a Hefeweizen, so it takes inspiration from German wheat beers. And this is a personal favourite of mine from his brewery.
Don't see many sort of German-style wheat beers from the local breweries, actually, do you?
Really, it's quite a difficult beer to produce and make actually taste like a German wheat because the Germans do it so well. But I think this one is a really good example.
Well, they are the masters, as we can attest to after a relatively recent visit to Munich.
Yeah, I mean,
you go to somewhere like Schneider Weiss, or and it's the sort of best beer in the world, really, isn't it?
Yeah, a vital research trip.
It was, yes.
Big fan of Schoffelhofer.
Schoffelhofer, well, see, Schoffelhofer is a wonderful thing because that's low volume, low ABV, so
2.5.
You can quaff a few of those and still feel fairly confident. Shopper quaffer.
The Germans are smashing the 0% stuff as well, aren't they? Because the Erdinger 0% beer is one of the very few that really tastes like a beer.
They actually call it an isotonic drink as well. So they use it for when people are doing marathons and runs and stuff like that. Here you go, have yourself.
It's super healthy. Beer. Super healthy beer. Who knew? Here we go, Johnny. Let me hand these over.
I tell you what, has almost matched the evolution of beer. There's been the art as well that goes with it. Like, show me a boring can of beer now. It just doesn't happen, does it? The art is incredible that goes along with it.
So this is Horsforth's Weisse Rose, named after the White Rose Centre. I understand.
So this is actually. So if you look at this is quite characteristic of wheat beers. When you pour it, you can get quite a lot of bubble form in the head. It is quite a fizzy beer, and for a wheat one, it is quite clear, actually.
Yes, it is.
That is lovely. That's really, really nice.
Yeah, that tastes good. That's very authentic, isn't it?
Really is. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So usually with the English versions of German wheat beer, I've struggled with it. They're quite thin. They don't seem to have that body to it. But that is
it is a difficult style to replicate.
Yeah. Really nice.
Yeah, it's amazing how much sort of imitation goes on in the world of brewing, isn't it? If you look at when the Americans came out with Blue Moon, for example, which was sort of an imitation European white beer, wasn't it? But it's very passable. It's a very good beer.
Yeah, exactly.
You might hate it. So
no. No, it's a really nice beer. It's one of those actually where it's one of those rare beers where, and I'm sorry if this offends anybody, that you can actually garnish and it's quite nice. So a pint of Blue Moon with a little slice of orange in there is actually quite delicious.
Yes. As long as the bartender doesn't put it in for you. They should ask first. That's the rule that I've read online. Okay, marvelous. And we finish with a pudding beer. So we're back at Wild Child Brewing, which we visited earlier on in the week, and this is their Brownie Huntress Export Chocolate Fudge Brownie Stout, 7.5%. Boys and girls. Not boys and girls, obviously. You need to be grown up to drink this sort of strength beer. So tell me about this one.
Actually, this is the first time I'm going to taste it. So,
really?
So it is brand new to the shelves of Morrison's.
Amazing.
So this is pretty exciting.
It is a World Beer Style winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a UK winner as well. Amazing. Pudding in a glass.
Exactly. So Wild Child are really, when they came onto the scene, their first 3 beers were all over 10%, and it was a really big bang into the beer scene. And since then, Kia has really pioneered some quite exciting beer styles. And at 7.4%, this is fairly light for one of these.
Sort of the brew dog of West Leeds.
Absolutely, yeah.
With more interesting beers. Here we go then.
Grab those.
Here we go, Mike.
That feels heavier.
Export chocolate fudge brownie stout, 7.4%.
Wow, that smells like a dessert.
Absolutely, you don't need to actually put your nose very near that to smell the chocolate.
Yeah. What do you look for in a beer to cook with, Rob? What makes a decent cooking beer?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just tend to just work with the flavours, what are in it, rather than, yeah.
That's amazingly sweet.
Bit of slow cooked beef in a crock pot over a few hours with that.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You can have that idea on me, but people say that to you all the time.
I'll just reword it.
That's terrific.
Or actually in the glass and ice cream float. Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Another good one for the kids.
Absolutely.
Mike, it's been lovely to meet you. Where can people find out about Leeds Beer Tours?
So if you check out www.leedsbeertours.co.uk, it's got all tour information. They all restart on the 10th of June.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Not too long to wait.
Not too long.
Cheers.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, Mike. This is lovely.
Yes, it is.
While we drink this, let's take a look around our last suburb. Harry Johns is out and about for us. He's from Holy Mountain Kitchen. We've been taking a look at the fact that there is so much out there apart from what's just in the city centre. Last trip tonight. Let's see where he is.
Welcome to What's the Move in collaboration with Leeds Indie Food. We're in Meanwood. It's leafy. It's a short walk from Headingley. It's got one of my favorite restaurants in the world and also a bunch of new stuff that we're going to go and take a look at today. Let's get it. We found ourselves at Wildcraft Bakery just on Green Road in the main sort of triangle bit of Meanwood. Bumped into my mate Tony Schnitz. Hello. Leeds local, chef extraordinaire. We're going to have a frittata, a cookie, a coffee. Everything is made fresh every morning on site. Wildcraft Bakery, Meanwood. Let's get into it. That looks good.
That does look really good. What flavour is this frittata, Harry?
Mediterranean vegetable and feta.
Ooh.
Dude, I like a frittata. You don't see them so much anymore, do you?
No. Some may say they're a bit dated, but can't hate the classics, right?
Oh, moist.
Good word.
Egg moisture. I like that. Lovely seasoning.
Yeah, banging flavour. Potatoes really well cooked.
Right.
Mega.
Wildcraft Bakery. Fresh bits. Coffee's nice. I mean, take advantage of this beautiful, spacious outdoor vibe. So now you're here and we're in Meanwood.
Yeah.
Where do you like to eat around here when the world's normal?
I mean, Meanwood's quite. I love all the little burby bits of Leeds. Meanwood's particularly good. Long-standing Italian cult classic favourite Zucca, I think. Everything on the menu there.
It's like old school, isn't it?
Yeah, just real. I mean, a lot of people talk about salvos, but the food's absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, testament to how long they've been there, right?
That's one of the oldest restaurants in Leeds or something.
Yeah.
Probably the oldest restaurant around here, I'm assuming.
So for me, if you can be here for that long, then you've got to be doing something right, yeah.
And there's that Hannah Matsuri across the road.
Yeah.
Sushi place. Have you been?
Never been, but it's only got about 4 seats, I believe. But the guy's 2 rosettas. I think he's going for a start. It's absolutely insane. As soon as it is reopened, I think we should have a little trip.
So when we turned up at Poutine Rally to have a heart, there were like 3 locals having an argument about whether Kirby's was good or not, because you can like see it from across the road. We're fish and chip guys. Fish and chips are nice. So let's put our money where our mouths are. Kirby's, you're up. Let's get it. We're at Kirby's Fish and Chips.
The gaff.
Tony Schnitz, HGJ, Leeds Indie Food, Fish and Chips.
I told Harry about Kirby's. It's a bit of a staple. It's absolutely wonderful. Fish putty is my usual go-to with a bit of pea in the middle. But just the fish and chips here, phenomenal. Real traditional.
And also,
classic.
simply fruity.
Independent.
Dude, this fish is well nice. It's not very crispy batter, but it's just nice and sort of like fresh.
Yeah, I think they're quite traditional fish and chips in that way. The chips are amazing.
The chips are good.
And everything's cooked to order. So it's not going to be sat in your mad little fish warmer for 25 hours or anything. That's always a sign of quality for me.
Great. Kirby's. Fish and chips, Meanwood.
Nice.
So when the world goes back to normal, Hana Matsuri, sushi place, something like Vice Magazine and The Guardian and stuff, it gets a few write-ups or whatever. Zuko, one of our favourite restaurants. And like old school Italian food is right up our alley, isn't it? Our Straza.
Yeah, that's the one.
Zuko, Hana Matsuri, Wild
Craft Bakery.
Wild Craft Bakery, Boot and Rally, we just had a little half there, that was lovely.
You've got Terminus. Terminus is lovely. That's definitely not open. So that's just round the back near the gym, little craft beer place. Pretty sure they've got a microbrewery in there as well. Just really nice. I'm not a huge crafty fan, but they've got some very palatable beers in there. So yeah, I'd give that a shout as well.
Some nice bits
and pieces.
So here we are having a lovely afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed this. Leeds Indie Food. What's the move? We're in Meanwood. Get into it and have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank you to Harry in Meanwood for us tonight, the final of our trips to Leeds Suburbs to see what food and drink is on offer there. Thank you very much indeed, Harry. And we've converted Booze Corner here on Leeds Digital Food Week TV to Coffee Corner to celebrate one of the real booming industries in this city over the last 10 years or so. Few things could have grown as quickly as coffee has in this city. And I'm here with one of the founding fathers, even though I'm not sure he'll thank me for calling him that. It's David Laynes from Laynes Espresso in Leeds.
Hello, mate.
One of the OGs, as I've been told to say.
It's another way of saying 40 plus. So sure, yeah, I'm old enough.
Here's what I can't believe you told me just before we came to air, that Laynes Espresso, which is a magnificent coffee house, coffee shop, stroke cafe. You've been lots of different things over the years, but it's just near the train station. You've been there 10 years.
We have, 10 years almost to the day as well. I believe my first trading day was May 20th. And I've only worked that out by scrolling back through Instagram and finding an open sign that a mate took a photo of, So I believe it's 10 years almost, you know, on the nose.
It's how we live these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Instagram,
Facebook
memories. Oh yeah, I did used to do that.
I did something once.
Do you feel like it's been 10 years? Has it felt like a year, or has it felt like 20 years?
It's
or has the last year felt like 20 years?
The last year is it's been a whole other experience compared to the other 9, no doubt. And we've kind of lost that last year of our first decade. But it depends what's going on the day as to how it feels, I think. Sometimes I look back at the kind of cityscape of Leeds when I opened, and it's very different to what we have now. And, you know, we've been chatting about how great it is and how you can walk out there and see so many things delivered in such great ways and all the collabs that exist within that. So, yeah, I'm very aware of the fact I've been around for 10 years now. The mirror reminds me that I've been around for 10 years.
And you've got a particular spot, of course, in Leeds, because you capture a lot of those people that are coming off the train. Perhaps they're commuting into the city. What kind of conversations have you had in recent years about how the city's changed? Because for those of us that live here, it feels like it's changed very rapidly. For those of us that don't live here, it must be even more pronounced.
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about the location of Laynes is that you get all sorts through the door. You know, you get sort of office workers coming in, you'll get tradespeople working in the city. And thankfully, those conversations have existed throughout the time we've been there. But, you know, the general positivity, and even in the pandemic, that positivity is very much at the forefront of people's thinking in relation to the food and the drink and the venues and the people involved and that creative excitement that comes with what you see out there in Leeds.
Yeah, and if I think back to maybe, let's go back 10 years, for example. I mean, there were coffee shops in Leeds, but what you didn't really have is roasteries all around the place. That seemed to be a new thing that came along. And they've moved their actual roasting operation out of there now.
Yeah, they're up in Armley sort of way now.
We've got Cielo out Garforth way and that kind of thing. What's behind that boom in coffee in this city?
I think, and because we've been around for 10 years, I sort of see it that there are people now that have coffee shops and things like that and roasteries in Leeds that, not saying their first experience of quality coffee was Laynes, but they sure as heck were kind of at the beginning of Laynes. I know that Kapow, the guys at Kapow, they were very much customers. You know, the guys behind Kapow worked at a chain store coffee shop at the end of the road. They were coming down to Laynes, and sure enough, they kind of picked that up and thought, and that's how these creative things evolve, is that they'll try something and they think, I can do that. I'm not going to take away from this place I'm in, but I can do something with this and I can run with it in this direction. And that's how these things have evolved in such sort of progressive and exciting ways.
I think what you're saying is we've got you to thank for the amount of coffee.
I mean, again,
It's fair.
40 plus. I just got there first. That's all it is. You know.
Now you've brought us a coffee. This is a Laynes coffee itself, isn't it? So this is something you've had.
This is an exclusive coffee to Laynes. When I first opened up Laynes, we worked with Square Mile Coffee Roasters, which were London-based sort of coffee roasters, but they were doing such a great job of it when we came to put Laynes together. And so I thought, you know, fair's fair. We've got to work with them for this kind of 10-year anniversary coffee. So what I've done is commit to buying a whole lot, and like literally a farm lot of coffee from this place in Peru. So I've committed to about 350 kilos of the stuff. And, you know, I wanted a coffee that represents everything that we've been trying to achieve by way of our coffee. It's fruity, it's clean, it's, you know, it's got a level of acidity and citrus, but there's still a big sort of coffee body. And this one coffee from one small section of one small farm in Peru kind of delivers on all of that. So yeah, this is what we're presenting on the bar at Laynes for the forthcoming. Perfect. I'm not sure. See how long it lasts. Couple of weeks, couple of months. Who knows how many people we're going to serve in the next few weeks, you know?
Yeah, well, hopefully lots and lots and lots. And you made one just before we came on air, and we have to say that to avoid burns, we decided not to bring the kettle out here and try and do all of that with an Aeropress. Now, you made this, so this is made with an Aeropress, and you gave us an incredible fact, which I'm not going to steal from you. I'm going to allow you to deliver.
Okay.
What's the incredible fact about the Aeropress?
It's really good.
Well, there's that.
And there was more. There was
the other fact.
Sure. So this was invented by the bloke behind the Aerobi, which is something we may remember as kids. Oh, we may still do as adults, you know. So he's a big coffee fan, a big coffee nerd, if you like. And then he had time and he likes coffee. So he put together this contraption, if you like, called the Aeropress. And I believe it to be one of the best ways you can make a decent cup of coffee at home. It's easy to use. It's easy to clean. Very little maintenance. People often ask me about espresso machines in the home, and you've really got to spend some big money to get a decent espresso machine in your home. I would say concentrate on having a really good mug of really good quality coffee. Is it as good as the Aero Frisbee? Because that
you can chuck it.
Out of all the Frisbees, that was one of the great Frisbees.
Sure.
I'm expecting this to be great for coffee.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant in terms of like chucking it. Really.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't look that aerodynamic to me.
No.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, like the guy behind it, obviously, he's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's really thought about this. And I've had one of these at home for nearly 12 years now, and it still serves me great.
It makes a very smooth, fine coffee. So go on then, 60 seconds. Talk us. So the main things that people might have at home are cafetiere or cafetiere. Pronounce that wrong. Nespresso machine, obviously, or one of the various other ones of those. Just your sort of instant stuff. Presumably, we sort of frown on that maybe a little bit.
No, I wouldn't frown on anything really.
Okay.
But, you know, it's all about what works and the situation that you're in. If a teaspoon of something in hot water does the job, it does the job.
Okay.
You know? With things like Nespresso machines now, like they're kind of like the industry of the side of coffee that I work with. People are starting to step into the pod market, so now you can get some really, really good quality pods.
Yeah.
So you don't have to rely on what Nespresso is delivering. You can step into this world and get really great coffee for those.
And they're
machines.
recyclable quite often, aren't they? Refillable ones that they're doing.
Again, people have applied. And again, it's this idea that we've come out of this creative industry and they've applied that idea and those sort of ideals to something else. Well,
Dave, thank you so much for coming on. We wish you the best of luck coming out of the other side of the pandemic and to another 10 successful years.
Let's hope so.
At Laynes Espresso.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave. Before we go, Rob, I just want to catch up with you. You've got a lot of exciting things coming up for you and Bar Steward's Bistro. So next week is the big week. How are you feeling about the future?
Very, very positive.
Good.
I feel like it's been a long time coming, but yeah, we've got some wicked stuff to look forward to, and hopefully everyone else is going to enjoy it as well. So
yeah, I'm sure they will do. Keep up the amazing work.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you to Rob for being with us. Thank you to Dave as well. Thank you to Mike as well. It's been fantastic here. I can't believe it's over, Larry.
I don't know what. I literally don't know what I'm going to do.
Booze Corner will carry on, but just in Larry's garage. We'll give you out the details.
You're all welcome.
Later on. And some other thank yous as well. LeedsBId, thank you very much for your help on this. It's been a wonderful project to be a part of. Got some amazing live music from Ntantu in just a moment's time. Some fantastic Afro pop to play us out. Have to say a very special thank you as well to all the guys from Chapter 81. What an amazing job putting this together. Adam for making it look beautiful, Pete for making it sound glorious, and Simon for basically herding cats for the past few weeks to put this together. And of course, thank you to you not just for watching, but for being part of this incredible industry. Leeds is so blessed with what we have here, with our food and our drink, and it is renowned. It really is nationally renowned, and it's because of the support that you give it that it continues to grow and flourish. Please do continue doing that. That's all we ask of you, is that you support in any way you possibly can. Thank you so much for watching. Eat and drink your way out of this pandemic. Take care. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ntantu. Digital Food Week TV. Let's go, let's go. Hey, NSC gonna make you dance like this. Hey, Ray gonna make you dance like this. I want one shot, two shot. Please don't give me too much peer pressure, make you dance like this. Hey, what we tell him, oh my goodness, oh my gosh. Hey, okay, fill my cup, baby, no chase. Party air like it's so blade, bend your back like Beyonce. One shot there for the bag, man, two shot there for the bag, yeah. Stomp your feet like a soldier. Oh no, she did it for the culture, no. We don't want no passa, no. Kingdom like Mufasa, oh. In this thing together, please don't go give in to pressure. If your brethren go jump off a bridge, then would you follow? If your brethren go jump off a bridge, then would you follow? Everybody dead, everybody dead, 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 dead. Everybody dead, everybody dead, dead, dead. Hey, say, oh my goodness, oh my gosh. Wait, hold it, broke it, set it, picture pose so we know, don't forget it. Kisha, Tammy, Sophie, Becky, make things doing the most in the fetty. One more shot for all the bad man, two more shot for all the bad, yeah. Tell the DJ reload it, reload it, hey. We don't want no bassa, hey. Kingdom like Mufasa, hey. Pressure make you bate, after bate, after bate. If your brethren go jump off a bridge, then would you follow? If your brethren go jump off a bridge, then would you follow? Everybody dead, hey, everybody dead, hey. Say everybody dead, everybody dead, hey. What we tell them? Oh my goodness, oh my gosh. If them a feed do Amaza, we don't f with them. Every day creating massa, we don't f with them. If them a feed do Amaza, we don't mess with them. Check your pride, be like Mufasa, please don't mess with them. Hey, if your brethren go jump off a bridge, then would you follow? If your brethren go jump off a bridge, then would you follow? Everybody dead, everybody dead, hey. Say everybody dead, everybody dead, hey. Let's go. NSC go make you dance like this. Ray go make you dance like this. I want one shot, two shot. Please don't give me too much peer pressure, make you dance like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of Ntantu, Ntantu. Bless. Cheers.